Number 9. The Chase Bank Infinite Money Glitch. This might be the stupidest financial crime of the decade. In late 2024, a trend exploded on TikTok called the free money glitch. Users claimed that if you wrote a fake check to yourself for 50 grand, then deposited it into a Chase Bank ATM, the bank would make the funds available instantly before the check cleared. Thousands of people rushed to ATMs to try this out. They withdrew massive stacks of cash and flaunted it online. It looked like the easiest payday in history. But there was a tiny problem with this genius plan. It wasn't a glitch, it was just called check fraud. Writing a bad check is a felony that dates back 100 years. Chase Bank didn't just forget how banking works. They had a temporary security gap that they closed within days. Suddenly, thousands of accounts went into massive negative balances. One guy posted a screenshot of being $40,000 in debt. Chase froze the accounts and handed the data to the FBI. People were crying on social media about how their life was ruined. They thought they found a cheat code for real life. Instead, they just handed their identity directly to the police. This is what happens when you get your financial advice from TikTok. The bank is now suing individuals for every cent stolen plus interest. It is a brutal lesson in how the banking system actually works. You can't just print money because an app told you to. Number 8. The Willy Wonka AI experience. This scam wasn't about stealing millions, but it stole the world's attention. An organizer in Glasgow promised a magical chocolate factory experience. The website featured incredible AI art of candy forests and jelly bean waterfalls. Tickets were sold for £35 a pop to excited families. But when they arrived at the warehouse, it was a horror show. There was no chocolate factory and barely any decorations. Just a few cheap props scattered in a dirty gray warehouse. The scripts given to the actors were generated by AI and made no sense. They introduced a villain named the Unknown who lived in the walls. This character was a guy in a silver mask who terrified the children. Kids were crying, and parents were demanding their money back. The police were called to the scene to handle the angry mob. The organizer had used AI to generate the entire business plan. He didn't bother to check if it was physically possible to build. The event became a global laughingstock overnight. It showed the dark side of cheap AI generation in business. People paid for magic and got a quarter cup of lemonade. The Unknown became a meme, but the fraud was real. It was a perfect example of overpromising and under-delivering. The organizer tried to apologize, but the damage was done. You can't fake a theme park with a laptop and zero budget. It remains one of the most embarrassing events of the year. Number 7. The Costco fake gold epidemic. Gold bars have been flying off the shelves at Costco recently. People trust the warehouse giant for everything from hot dogs to bullion, but scammers found a way to weaponize that trust against the store. The scheme involves buying real gold bars legit from the counter. Then they go home and swap the real gold for gold-plated copper. They reseal the package to look brand new and untouched. Then they return the fake bar to Costco for a full cash refund. Because Costco has a legendary return policy they often didn't check, the scammers would walk out with the cash and keep the real gold. This creates a cycle of infinite money until someone notices. The problem is when Costco puts that returned bar back on the shelf. An innocent customer buys it thinking they are investing in their future. They take it home and realize they bought a worthless piece of metal. This forced major retailers to change their return policies on precious metals. Now, you can't just return gold without a rigorous authenticity check. It ruined the convenience for honest members who just wanted to invest. The scale of this fraud is estimated in the millions of dollars. It proves that even the biggest companies have blind spots. If a deal or a return policy seems too good to be true, there is always someone waiting to exploit it for profit. Gold is heavy, but these scammers' consciences are incredibly light. Number 6. The Deepfake CFO heist. This is the moment science fiction became a financial nightmare. In early 2024, an employee at Arup received a message. It was from the chief financial officer requesting a secret transaction. The employee was suspicious because it involved $25 million. He did the right thing and asked for a live video call. He wanted to look his boss in the eye before sending the cash. He joined the Zoom meeting and saw the CFO's face clearly. He also saw several other colleagues he recognized from the office. They were talking and nodding and looking completely normal. The CFO explained why the transaction had to be kept secret. It all sounded plausible, and the voices matched perfectly. So the employee relaxed and authorized the massive transfer. But here is the terrifying twist to the story. Every single person on that video call was an AI deepfake. The scammers used public footage to clone their faces and voices. They rendered them in real time to interact with the victim. The employee was the only real human in the digital room. He was talking to ghosts and he had no idea. Arup is a massive engineering firm, not a grandma with an iPad. They have security protocols and smart people working there. If they can get fooled fooled, then nobody is safe. The $25 million vanished into the ether instantly. It wasn't until days later he realized what happened. Imagine the feeling of cold dread hitting your stomach. You just wired a fortune to a video game character. This heist changed the rules of corporate security forever. Now you need a code word just to talk to your boss. Video proof is no longer proof of anything real. It is the ultimate gaslighting maneuver by high-tech criminals. The money is gone and the trust is broken forever. You can't even believe your own eyes on a screen anymore. Number 5. The Pig Butchering Industrial Complex. This is the most organized crime wave in human history. They call it pig butchering because they fatten you up. Then when you are full of hope, they slaughter you. It usually starts with an innocent-looking wrong number text. Or maybe a match on a dating app who seems perfect. They don't ask for money, they just want to be friends. They talk to you for months, building a genuine connection. They share photos of their lunch and their daily life. Eventually, they mention they are trading cryptocurrency. They show you screenshots of massive gains on a special app. They offer to teach you how to trade like them. You put in a little bit of money and see it grow. They even let you withdraw some profit to build your trust. That is the fattening phase of the cruel process. Once you trust them, you dump your life savings in. You mortgage your house and borrow from your family. You watch the numbers on the screen go up and up. Then the app freezes and demands a tax fee to withdraw. That is when the knife comes down on the pig. The money was never invested, it was stolen instantly. The numbers on the screen were just a video game. But the scammers aren't who you think they are. They are often enslaved victims trapped in compounds in Southeast Asia. They are beaten and forced to scam Westerners all day long. It is a factory of human misery, generating billions of dollars. In 2025, the scale of this operation reached terrifying heights. North Korea and huge syndicates are running these compounds like businesses. If a random hot girl texts you about crypto, run away. There is no such thing as easy money in crypto, only wolves waiting to eat the sheep who wander off. Number 4. The QR code parking scam. We have all been trained to scan codes for everything. Since the pandemic, we scan menus and tickets without thinking. Now we are paying for parking with our phones too. But scammers realize that stickers are incredibly cheap to print. This is called quishing or QR code phishing attacks. You pull into a parking spot in a busy city center. You see a sticker on the meter that says scan to pay. It looks official and has the city logo on it. You scan it and it takes you to a payment portal. The website looks exactly like the official city parking site. You enter your credit card details and pay for 2 hours. You walk away thinking you are a law-abiding citizen, but you just handed your credit card to a thief. And here's the kicker that makes this scam so painful. Because you didn't actually pay the city, you get a ticket. You get fined for illegal parking while your bank account is drained. The scammers are physically pasting these stickers over the real ones. It is a low-tech hack for a high-tech world. They can hit hundreds of meters in a single night. By the time the city realizes the money is already gone, cities in the UK and US are ripping these meters out. They are telling people to never scan a sticker on a machine. Always use the official app or pay with coins if possible. This scam works because we are lazy and in a hurry. We trust the little black and white square blindly. Stop trusting random stickers you find on the street. It is safer to carry quarters than to trust a code. Scammers are counting on your need for convenience to rob you. Don't let a $20 parking spot cost you thousands. Number 3. The voice clone kidnapping ring. This is every parent's worst nightmare brought to life by AI. Scammers are no longer just sending generic texts. They are scrolling through TikTok and Instagram to find your kids. They rip the audio from a 10-second video of your child talking. Then they feed it into a cheap AI voice cloning tool. Within minutes, they have a perfect replica of your child's voice. They call you in the middle of the day from a spoofed number. When you pick up, you hear your own child screaming for help. They are crying and saying, "Mom, please help me. I'm scared." It sounds exactly like them, down to the inflection and tone. Then a deep voice comes on the line and demands a ransom. They tell you they have your kid in a van. They demand $5,000 via Venmo or Bitcoin immediately, or they will hurt your child right now while you listen. The panic shuts down the logical part of your brain. You don't stop to think or call your child's phone. You just pay the money to save your baby. But your child was never kidnapped in the first place. They were sitting safe in math class the entire time. This scam is sweeping across the US and UK right now. It is psychological warfare targeting the most vulnerable people. The FBI is now telling parents to have a family-safe word. If someone calls claiming to be kidnapped, ask for the code word. If they can't say it, hang up and call the police. It is sick that we have to live like spies now, but your social media posts are giving them the ammunition. Number 2, the fake job North Korean army. You might be working next to a North Korean soldier right now, and you would never know because they are remote. In a massive scandal exposed in late 2024 and 2025, it was revealed revealed that thousands of remote IT workers were fakes. These weren't just guys lying on their resumes. They were operatives from North Korea disguised as Americans. They used stolen identities of real US citizens to get hired. They passed Zoom interviews by hiring actors or using deepfakes. Once they got the job, they did the bare minimum work. They collected six-figure salaries from major tech companies, but instead of buying a Tesla, they sent the money to the regime. This cash is literally funding their nuclear weapons program. But stealing wages wasn't the only goal of this operation. They used their access to plant backdoors in corporate software. They stole intellectual property and hacked internal networks. The FBI raided several laptop farms in the US. These were houses filled with hundreds of laptops running constantly. People were paid to just log in and move the mouse around. It looked like a legitimate American employee was working hard. In reality, the soldier was typing code from Pyongyang. It is one of the biggest national security breaches in history. Companies are now forcing employees to come back to the office because apparently that is the only way to prove you exist. Number 1. The Crypto King Prison Scam. Sam Bankman-Fried is sitting in a jail cell right now, but the ghost of FTX is still haunting his victims. You would think, after losing everything, people would be cautious, but scammers know that desperation makes people blind. A new wave of scams has targeted the original FTX victims. These people receive official-looking emails from the Department of Justice, or sometimes from a recovery firm claiming to be authorized. The email says, "Good news, we recovered your stolen funds. Click here to claim your settlement before it expires." The victim sees a glimmer of hope after years of pain. They click the link and connect their new crypto wallet. The site asks for a small processing fee or tax to release funds. Or worse, it asks for their private seed phrase to verify identity. The moment they type it in, their wallet is drained. They lose the little bit of money they had left. It is kicking a person when they are already on the ground. The scammers are using public bankruptcy filings to find names. They know exactly who lost money and exactly how much. They craft personalized lies that are impossible to ignore. It is the ultimate double cross in the financial world. There is no magical recovery agent coming to save you. If someone asks for a fee to give you money, it is a scam. Sam might be in prison, but his legacy of ruin continues. The only thing worse than losing money once is losing it twice. This video is a grim reminder to stay vigilant. The financial world is evolving faster than the laws can keep up. The scammers are using the same AI tools we use for fun to steal our lives, whether it is a fake gold bar or a deep fake of your boss. The line between reality and fraud has never been blurrier. If you learned something new today, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next update. We expose these scams so you don't become the next victim. Share this video with your parents or that friend who loves crypto. It might just save them from losing everything they have. Stay safe out there and verify everything. We will see you in the next one.